Everybody, welcome back to the She Shed. Today I thought what we'd do is go over some hooks. I do have quite a few, and when I first started out I did not know there was so much to choose out of, and as I was researching and going through things I saw people using different kinds of hooks. Now we don't have many yarn stores here in Australia. Sorry, we're not big on that for some reason. And I did see some hooks that were different. I thought, oh, they might be more comfortable, so I tried them. And then researching, I saw that there were more, and there's more, and there's more. There's so many hooks. But what is the best hook to use? I've seen some that are $105+. Better be a good hook. And I've seen others which I started out with, which was only a couple of dollars. And so I wanted to go through what I've done and what I've used and what is good and what is not good for me. Everybody has a different hand size, everybody holds their hook differently, and everybody grips their hook differently. I have tiny hands, however that doesn't mean I like a tiny hook. I also grip really tightly. Don't know why, I just do. And so therefore the skinny hooks started to hurt. There wasn't enough to grip on. And also I don't like a short hook because it digs into my hand. And it's on this hand actually because I'm right-handed, so I'm starting to get a callus. I can feel it here and here. So I was looking for something that was wider, more comfortable to hold, and also longer. So have I found the perfect hook yet? Not quite, and it also depends on, what you're crocheting up. Are you using pure wool? Are you using wool blend? Are you using acrylic? Are you using cotton? Are you using yak? So I found through trial and error it depends on the wool you're using, how you hold it, and what your hand does, what you do. So let's have a look at these hooks. Let's get started, and let's see what I like with what. Alright, let's start off with all this that I've got in my hand here. Now the first ones I got were these. These are your traditional standard hook I think most people start out with when they first start crocheting. And the first one out of this lot that I ever got was that one. And that's what I made majority of my garments out of. And this one is a 5.5, and then I needed to get a larger hook, so I got this one. Now this one is plastic and this one is metal. I have not used these hooks in a very long time. Absolutely nothing wrong with them. They work perfectly fine. I did get a whole set. These came all together. They're in no particular order. I think I've used only a couple of these. There are my standard go-tos. When I first started out it was a 5 and a 6, and I think I did a 7. Sorry, I do not know what it is in other countries. For me, I go by the millimeters, so the 5.5 millimeter or 6 millimeter, 7 millimeter, so on and so forth. So unfortunately, no, I do not know for other countries. And these aren't bad at all. The hook though, I don't know, focus, is not very hooky. And that's one thing that I've found. If it's got a really nice up in their hook and it really is grabby, that is a nice hook. That actually makes a lot of difference as well. Now when I did, just trying to look at the, no, they're all the same length. So the length of that is a bit too short for me because, oh not, sorry, no, it's not for these ones, but there is a one I'm going to show you that are a bit too short. What is wrong with these ones is they're too skinny for me. I find that really, really skinny. And I halfway hold it like a knife, but I don't do that. I grab it. I grab and go. So I don't put the finger up there like I've seen a lot of people do, and I don't use it like that either. So I grab and hold. And that's okay when it's coming out the end here. So that's what I'm looking for now in a hook. But this is too skinny for me. And even when they get fatter, it's still a bit too skinny for me. So for, you know, this set cost, oh, next to nothing. I think it was like $10, if that. One of these hooks is only a couple of dollars. They are the standard go-to. I actually bought one, this one in Tasmania, because I lost my other one. So I couldn't cope with not being able to do any work. So that's why this one's my Tasmanian hook. But no, I have not used these for a very long time. While I had these and I was using these, let's move them out of the way, I found a set of these. Now I'm not putting them in any particular order. It's just a very pretty unicorny looking set. There's the other one. And I thought that it comes with a grippy bit. It's wider, it would be more comfortable to hold, and you know, your thumb goes there and that's great. If you're one of the finger putter upper here's, you know, that's great. But look where it sits. For me, it sits right in my hand there, and that's where I'm getting the callus, and that is what is hurting. So I hold like that, but it's still getting in there. So it's slightly my apologies, it is slightly shorter, and that's also a problem. Never thought about it when I got these. This is plastic and it's really uncomfortable to hold. This is metal, but the hooky bit here is useless, absolutely useless. I don't know if you can see. It's not focusing. This one goes up more, so it's a better grippy hook, and this one, the yarn just slips out of it. I did persist for quite a while, but no luck. Feels awful. The grippy bit was nice. The wool just slipped off it. Didn't matter what yarn I used, it just slipped off it. So I have not used those in a very long time. The other ones that I have, and I've got, you'll see it in my pack, the other ones. Now I needed super duper big hooks for projects that I was doing. So I bought a set of these big massive hooks. I believe one is a 10. No, that one's a 12, and this one is a 10. So it is good that they've got the what it is written on there, and it's not going to rub off. That is fantastic, and that's what we're looking for, because you're never going to remember what it is. These, that will rub off eventually. So if this was a style of hook that you really liked and you wanted to use, that's going to rub off. So you're going to need to mark this somehow. What I have done in the past is etched on the back, and continuously etch if you do rub them off. But it is nice to have ones that have it on there. And the nice thing is I'm right-handed, so that is actually quite comfortable, because that is not going to rub on me at all. It's on the outside. However, if you're left-handed, that actually becomes a problem because that will rub on the inside of your hand. I have found this with a different hook, which I will show you shortly. But saying that, I have just noticed that it's opposite on both of these hooks. This hook here is on that side, irritating. That would irritate me. This hook is on the outside, so that wouldn't. Bad for a left-hander, bad for a right-hander. So, not uniform. So you can tell that these are cheap. These are cheap hooks. I have used them, well, tried to use them once. I hated it with the yarn. It didn't go. The hooky bit was not hooky enough for me. The yarn kept slipping off. It just rubbed so badly. I did not like these at all. So I have never completed a project with those. So they are my old ones that I do not use or have anything to do with anymore. They just sit in my carry case. I've got this beautiful pencil case that I use. Lady down in Tasmania draws all these. I've bought so many things off her. Bags, framed pictures. She is awesome, and it's really lovely when you meet the artist. And so of course I am an animal person through and through, so of course I had to get the elephants. And I've got many other things that she does. She does mainly wildlife. So that is where these all go. So I am putting them away. So everybody has different ways of storing their products. This is my go-to, and I keep everything in there from my scissors, best scissors ever, to pom-pom makers, and I also use a loom to make some of my beanies. So, and stitch counters, by the way. If you've never had a stitch counter, get yourself a stitch counter. Absolutely brilliant. Alright, so moving on to what's in my holder. This is a basic holder, the cheapest thing I could find when I was in Spotlight. So here in Cairns we only have Spotlight and Lincraft. We do not have much choice at all, and unfortunately, because we live so far north, we actually have limited supply up here, and anything we want from overseas or down south, we have to pay a lot of postage for it. So we put up with the fact that we only have Spotlight and Lincraft. Not all of these are from Spotlight or Lincraft. So you can see here I've got another one of these hooks that I had, the plastic ones. It is in here because it is the next one along. So that's an 8, that's a 9, and I am actually using my 10 at the moment. So my 10 is this style with a pink soft plastic rubbery background. Okay, so what did I get first in this pack? These are in order. So I got a 4. The 4.5 I'm using at the moment for another project. I have got 5 projects on the way at the moment. Come on, you got to admit, we never have one project going at a time. So that's a 4, my 4.5's out, my 5, my 5.5. Now these two are absolutely brand new. I will review them last. That's a 4 and a 5. That's a 6, 6.5, 7, 8, 9, and 10 I'm using. Okay, so what have we got in here? Let's do these ones. So these ones, I have no idea what brand it is. You buy them at Spotlight or Lincraft. I think they do both of them. They are a rubbery bottom. Very nice to hold, very nice to use. Love the hooky bit, really easy. Any yarn at all, I can use these with. They are my go-to hook, and I have, you can see, I have, because the numbers rub off, you have no idea what size it is, and look how dirty that is. You can tell I've used this a lot. So I etched in the 4 up here, so I could know what this is, and I've etched that in a couple of times. That is a design fault. They need to design these hooks so that the number does not come off. But I have used this a lot. This is a bit of a dirty hook. They are my go-to hooks, and I I couldn't tell you how many projects I've used with this. It's a brilliant hook. It doesn't matter what yarn I use. Why am I looking for something else? Because the way I hold my hook, once again, it is rubbing in there and it is really starting to hurt in here. And this is why I've been looking for something else. It gets to the stage where I will put my pinky down the end there to hold it so it's not digging in here anymore, and it's just becoming painful and uncomfortable. I hold my hook down, as you can see. I wish I was in one of those people that can hold it up here, and then I wouldn't have so much of an issue, but unfortunately I don't, so I have to come down here and then my pinky ends up supporting it so it doesn't rub into here. So even though I do love the feel of it, it fits in my hand quite nicely, the metal part is great, the hook is awesome, it's starting to rub really badly. So I still do use them because I don't have a complete set of others that I've found that I really like. So they are still in there and they haven't been taken out yet. So I've got, they don't come in a complete set. You need to buy them individually. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. And so am I going to get the whole set? Probably not. These are the ones I use. These two, sorry, the 1, 2, 3 and the 4th that I'm using are the ones that I use the most. And I do have other hooks which we'll get to, which I do use instead. For example, these. Now, you can see these ones here. Oh, and that one. All right. Aren't they pretty? They are so nice. Very pretty. So what these ones are is I go to the markets. We have a stall at the markets. That's where I sell all my products. And or you can go to our Facebook page, Boom Creations. And there was a gentleman who hand lathes these and sticks the wood on the end of the crochet hook. So that first crochet hook that I showed you, he gets those and he sticks them into the wood that he's lathed up. Now, by looking at these, can you tell which one I use the most? It is actually this one, because you can see how shiny it is. And the feel of this one is so smooth. It fits really well. So what he's done is he's put on it, oh sorry, it's not focusing. Can you see the little dots? So this is a 6.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 dots. I put a little line above it because he said he couldn't tell me if it was a half or not. So I said, well, I'll just etch a line in there and you can tell. Now I know it's 6.5. So that is one of my favorite hooks. I have a lot of projects that are 6.5 and it's smooth. Once again, thumb fits in there quite nicely. The finger wraps around. It's the traditional hook, so that actually works really well. But got a problem again. Look where it sits. So once again, I have to hold the hook like this, and yeah. So I still use it whenever I need a project that has a 6.5. I still use this. I have my 7. I don't use it as much, but it's still pretty good. Still hold it well. It's not. It's a bit longer, which is quite nice. But I still will get to the stage where I'll go and put my pinky there. I do like the shaft is longer, so you can see how he's made it longer. I like that. I like how he has done that. So he's done a better job on making that one. So that's good. This other one is this. So this is a 7 and this is a 5. So this 5. So you can see it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. it's 5.5, sorry, and the line underneath that I put, which tells me it's a half. The wood is awful. I don't know what he made it out of, but it is really, really scratchy. I will have to I've resanded it a few times, but I'll have to resand that again. And I've put wax on it. I've bathed it in a few different, like linseed oil and things like that, and it's still come up funny. So it's really scratchy, itchy, and it's quite uncomfortable. It's like it sandpapers your hand. So I need to sandpaper this and get it back to being nice. Same thing. Hook's pain in the butt. The hook is good. This is not so nice. I need to do something about that. And once again, it doesn't sit right. But I still do use them. So that one goes in there. That one and that one. Okay, I'm not going to do these two just yet. I'm going to move over to the next thing that I bought. So I've only just recently purchased these. And they came in a packet like this. Now, by this stage, I was researching hooks. I was actually looking at hooks and thinking, what can I get that might suit my hand? So in my research for hooks, I came across this style, and I wasn't prepared to buy the top of the end range of hook if it didn't suit my hand. So these are a cheap pack. I got it from eBay, cost me about $11. So I knew the hook itself wasn't going to be great, but I wanted to see if the handle would suit my hand. And as you can see, it's a pack of 8. One is missing. I am using it at the moment, and I don't mind this container actually. I might keep them in here. So pick out my favorite. Obviously purple's my favorite. Okay, so as you can see, it does an S. And my hand wraps around that so comfortable. Now, it took a little bit to get used to. I found it quite weird, but it just grips in your hand quite nicely. Now, this is for me. It's not for everybody else. I'm not saying what I'm doing here will fit everybody. It only is for me and what I'm finding good. I have seen reviews on a higher end version of this hook, and they absolutely hated it. So for a cheap end version of this hook, I'm not disliking it. Now, some of the good things about it is, yep, fits in my hand nicely. I've got the thumb thingy here, which I live with my thumb in there. You can see how I grip my hand around it. It fits. It curves straight in my hand. Love it. And look, sticks right out the end. I'm not going to have that problem with it sticking in my hand there. So that's great. And that's about it. Oh, and it depends on your yarn. So this is working really nicely in wool, pure wool. It works. At the moment I'm using acrylic, and it is working fine in acrylic. I did make a scarf using a wool blend. Horrible. I was like struggling so much. I'm like, why should I be struggling? It took me ages to figure out it was the hook. By that stage, wasn't worth undoing. I just persisted and finished the scarf. The scarf, yeah, it looks all right, but it took me so long to do because I had to undo, redo, play around. Oh, it was horrible. So wool blend. Well, the wool blend that I was using, I'm assuming it's wool blend. It didn't actually have a label on it. It felt like wool. It smelled like wool. It was horrible. However, since I've used it on my hand spun wool, nice. I've used it on acrylic, nice. So it depends on the yarn that you use to how good this is. The other downers are about this. That's going to rub off. So once again, people, stop sticking it on there. Will you actually print it in there, and print it in there so it's not going to rub on any part of somebody's hand. The other thing, I don't know whether you can see there, skinny edge. Now this is two plastics joined together, and there is a sharp edge all the way along. That sharp edge digs right along your hand, digs right in. I'm not finding it so much on my fingers annoying me there. I am finding it annoying me here. So sharp edge, a more rounded version of this would be lovely. So still do the S, but more rounded and smooth, so you don't have this, I don't know whether you can see that there, but that sharp edge. And it's on both sides. And of course there's a cheap hook. Cheap hook, not much hooky bit in there. So you can see there that it's like blunt. Yeah, so not the best for gripping. It will lose the yarn a lot. And as I said, some yarns, and whatever this is made out of is not nice at all. Some yarns it goes nicely, and other yarns, as I said about that scarf, absolutely horrible. Overall, as a grip and not digging into me here, oh, fantastic. So I actually really like it for. Last but not least, back to this case and these two that I missed earlier. Alrighty. Okay, so in my research I heard of Prim. And they're not from Australia. I actually don't know where Prim is from. And if you've seen my Hobbii, my last video on the Hobbii order that I got, where I had 5 bags of Hobbii to open up, I will put the link to that one below, because there's a lot of good wool or yarn in that, which was really nice. You'll see that the fact that I went, oh look, I ordered these hooks, I forgot all about that, and that's when I got them. So since then I've actually been able to play with them, and let me go through them and see what is the good and bad points. So this is a 4 and this is a 5. Now you also might wonder what the shiny thing down the bottom of my 4 is, and I will get to that. But first of all, let's have a look at the 5. Okay, love the colours, love the feel. When I hold it, ta-da! It goes all the way past. Brilliant. So it's nice and long. Nice shaft there. Wonderful hook. Look at that. Are you going to focus? It says, oh, I don't know. Very pointy. This is a nice point there, nice gap in here. It is lovely. Look at that. That is a nice hook. Now, the weird thing is, this I started, so with some of my Hobbii, I've started a new project. I'm not going to show you guys this just yet. I'm still working on it, and I went, yes, look at these beautiful colours in this acrylic, and I've got my new hook, and I'm going to give it a go, and bum, this is awful with that acrylic yarn. So when you look at the Hobbii opening video, you'll see that the last bag that I opened was all that Black Friday acrylic, and this hook with that acrylic, horrible. It just, I don't know how to explain it. It made it so it wouldn't slide through. It just made it look really gappy, and I'm using the right hook size, but oh man, it was like I was using a size 7, not a size 5. How gappy it was making. It was horrible. And I'm like, what? So I cleaned the shaft, I wiped that down thinking that might be the problem, and gappy. No, made no difference. So this with that acrylic, horrible. Okay, so I haven't needed to use this for any other project to try it out as yet. So I have done other projects with my 4. Okay, so I've used my 4 quite a lot now. And this with my hand spun yarn is delightful. Absolutely delightful. I fly through it. This is what I'm working on at the moment. I'm going to do a separate video on this one. So this is my hand spun, and this hook through this wool. This is pure wool. There are 2 wools in this, by the way, just to let you know. This one here, they're two humbug yarns, which means black and white or brown and white. And this one here, the brown and white, is Finn, and the grey or black and white is Jacob. And I'm going to do a video on this one, but the hook I'm using for this is this hook, and it is just divine, absolutely awesome to work with. So for pure wool, this is a beautiful hook. Now, my negativity with this, notice the sticky tape on the end there? Why on earth have I stuck sticky tape on the end? Well, we'll go back to my 5 hook. Look where the size label is. I don't know, will you focus? Focus. No, I don't think it's going to focus. But that size, let me see if it will focus now. Guess where that sits? Right in there. See the redness I'm getting there? Sits right in there. So as I'm working away, that bit there rubs up and down, and it's like it is sandpapering. It is horrible. Once again, if you're a left-handed person, oh, wonderful, brilliant, you'll have no issues. Right-handed person, no, rubs in there constantly rubbing. It feels like sandpaper. It just goes up and down. It's horrible. So for now, my solution was to put the sticky tape on, and now it's nice and smooth. When I hold my hook, I am not getting that rubbing anymore. Eventually that sticky tape is going to come off and it will start rubbing again, and I'll just change it over again. But once again, can these people please put that label, put the sizing somewhere else, or put it where it's not, I don't even know where you would put it so it wouldn't rub on you, or make it so that it doesn't need to rub. These things don't rub at all. They don't rub. They're not irritating one bit. They're just grippy. Do it like that. I don't see what the problem is. Anyway, they need to invent that better. So, to work through, they do feel different. That might be the part of the reason. This is a toughened plastic. It's not bendy or anything. It's not going to snap off or anything like that. I'd be very surprised if it did. The hooks are absolutely brilliant. I've cleaned both of them, but this one still feels a bit grippy, so maybe that's the reason why it doesn't work well with acrylic. For my hand spun yarn that I've only used this for so far, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Very comfortable to hold, nice and long, goes past my hand, but that label does eventually get in there and rub. Are they the same size? Yeah, same size. So I got these from Hobbii. I think they cost me about $7 each. I have seen them on Amazon. I think I've also seen them on eBay. You can buy them individually or you can buy them as a pack. I was originally going to buy these as a pack from Hobbii. However, they had run out of stock. I don't need the lower ones. I've never used something lower than a 4. I can't see it to work with it. I don't like lace weight or fingering, so I never go past below a 4. So I need a 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6, 7. only done one project, which I'm doing at the moment, which is a 10. Otherwise, no, that's pretty much it. So I might continue buying these individually and get the ones that I need. I might look into the higher end of that style and see what they're like, and maybe try one of those and see if they work better and give that a go. The one that I would absolutely love to try, but at the moment I am not spending $55 for a hook, are the Furls range. So if anybody can let me know how to go about getting a Furls without paying an exorbitant amount of money for shipping, because the $54 is not shipping included, and anything that we ship to Australia from overseas is extortionate, the amount of money we have to pay for shipping. So if anybody knows how to get them, I have looked at Amazon. Amazon still charges shipping, and the $50 odd is just yeah, anyway. If you know of anything else out in Australia that is worth giving a go, let me know, because we really don't have that much choice. So the stuff that I've got here so far, only 2 types are from Australia, and as I said, these aren't even found in Australia. I had to get them from Hobbii, and I have seen them advertised overseas. So if there's any other styles that you reckon I should give a go, please let me know. I really appreciate your feedback. Yeah. So, do I have a favourite? At the moment, once I've got the sticky tape on here and in my pure wool hand spun yarn, this is my favourite. I am now reaching for this rather than going to my other go-to, which was that one. So as you can see, this one's much longer. It's not, now that it's got the sticky tape on it, it's not rubbing as much, and I'm flying through my work with this one now. If I did lose this one, I'd go straight back to that one, and they would be my go-to. The rest, not really. The curvy ones, if it had a better, I'm still persisting with them, but if it had a better hook, which had more hook on it, and this was more rounded, then yes. So I might look at the more expensive ones and try them out. Yeah. Okay. So I think that brings me to the end of this review. If you, as I said, if you have any feedback, please feel free to leave a comment and let me know what favourite hook suits you. This is, all I'm saying is this is what suits me. It's not necessarily what is going to suit everybody else. You need to find what will suit you and your hand and what works for you. And also, obviously, it depends whether you're right-handed or left-handed to get that annoying thing out of your hand. Oh, it's like sandpaper. Alright guys, that will bring me to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, and as always, see you next time. Thanks everyone.